Welcome everybody, and thank you for tuning in to our Q&A session. For the sake of this panel, I'm going to be Loomey. I dabble in journalism, and I think the story told in our favorite little novel and series, Good Omens, has some grains of truth in it. We really have barely avoided Armageddon, and now is our chance to find out just how close we came. For this reason, I have gathered here a select committee of various entities in this little meeting, who are all somehow related close to the events surrounding the averted Armageddon. We have with us today the Principality of Aziraphale.
Hello.
The Serpent of Eden, the Demon Crowley.
Good morning.
The Lord of the Flies, Lord Beelzebub.
Bethany.
Anathema device, a witch who is just as curious about what really went down in Tatfield as I am.
Hello.
And Warlock Dowling, who I think might be the Antichrist. We'll see.
I wish.
And we do have our first question for Crowley. Did you enjoy the lockdown nap, the long lockdown nap? Did you have any interesting dreams?
Actually, and I'm planning on going straight back to bed afterwards.
Right? I mean, thank you. It's really great of you to just wake up for us, just for our little questions.
I mean, good to see Aziraphale.
Oh, well.
Nothing new there. Did you learn how to drive?
Did I learn how to drive?
Yes.
I've always known how to drive.
I beg to differ.
Someone is asking Warlock, did you meet your nanny and brother Francis ever again?
Sadly, no. I wish I did because, well, Nanny was a big influence to my life. And, well, nah, forget that. That's soppy. Continue.
All right, we have some more questions there. For Aziraphale, how often have you gone to check on Crowley during his long nap?
Oh, barely. I mean, you're not allowed to go out during lockdown. I've stayed inside the bookshop, mainly baking.
That sounds fine. And I see you have some crepes, is that?
Yes, I do. I've made crepes this morning because I did get rather peckish. So I quickly, just before you've gathered us here, I decided to make some crepes.
Lovely. Someone's actually asking you a related question. How did you spend your time without your demon in lockdown? Any new hobbies?
Any new hobbies? Well, apart from bookbinding, more reading on top of that, more baking, reading. What else? I believe I tried to do knitting. That didn't go down very well. And more reading. No, we do not talk about my failed attempts of knitting.
All right. I'm sure we would be curious, but all right. There's a question for Anathema. Are you still a practicing witch now that Armageddon and the prophecies are over?
Well, I stopped being a professional descendant. I kind of wanted to do my own thing. You'd helped me set up my own little business. Actually, I'm doing online sessions on aura readings and little seances. I even stayed in contact with Madame Tracy, who kind of gives me advice in that regard. So it's been going good.
I'm really glad to hear that. It would have been a shame to, just let all that go to waste.
That's true. This is why today's episode is sponsored by Anathema Device, occult readings and life advice. Follow the Ineffable Podcast on Instagram and Twitter for more information. Now, back to the question. questions.
There's some questions for Beelzebub. Now that Armageddon is out of the way, have you been doing some more human stuff on Earth? And what's filling your time in general?
A lot of paperwork, actually, which, just overrunning hell as it normally does. So suffering very slowly through that, but occasional trips out of office, yes.
There's another question for you, actually. Do you have any plans for the redecoration of the underworld?
So many, but without the budget, and the plumbing still isn't fixed.
Oh no, that's terrible. It's been over a year since we've heard about that.
The paperwork gets done very slowly here.
Yes, I'll get on the pile that you sent over to me, and thank you again for agreeing to this session. There's a question for Crowley again. You hit Anathema with your car. When did you pass your driving test? Did you even pass your driving test?
It was back in the 60s, actually. And I don't think they actually tested you back then. I think you guys just had to ask.
That explains everything.
Oi!
Oh,
You hit me with your car.
It was years ago.
It was last year.
It doesn't count.
how exactly does last year not count?
Far away. I've been alive for 6,000 years. Time is a concept.
Well, there's a question actually for Aziraphale and Crowley both. Do you have any plans for when Crowley properly wakes up? A picnic or something?
Crowley,
I'll take him out to dinner.
Oh. And where did you plan to take me out to dinner?
Where do you think?
Oh, I'm sure there are other places as well as the Ritz.
I know you have favorites.
I do have favorites. You know my favorites.
Of course.
But I would not be opposed to a picnic at St. James's Park again. For nostalgia purposes. Feed the ducks.
I do see you. I think you do have a duck with you there.
Oh, this? Yeah, I finally got my hands on the rubber duck that Beelzebub didn't give me.
Oh.
You asked for, that.
Smell.
Is everything all right, Anathema?
Sure. I'm just trying to gather information as well, and so far, hell doesn't sound that different from Earth at all.
Just picture
Yes.
worse working environments.
Worse?
Worse.
So much worse.
So much
Like-
worse.
Even worse than they are nowadays.
Okay, just picture the worst place you've ever worked at, and then picture Hasta.
Oh,
Who's Hester?
Who's Hasta? We're not going to get into it now. We're just not. Just fire. Just fire.
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 Crowley, could you possibly enlighten us about Hester?
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, we might have hit a sensitive topic there. Let's just move on. Actually, yeah, Warlock, are you friends with Adam Young?
No, I've heard a lot about him.
He's a great kid.
Good kid.
I don't like good people.
Oh.
Should I spoil the fun, Loomey? Because
Um,
I seem to think that Warlock Dowling is the Antichrist.
It's like everything was organized. There was a whole hospital set up for them and everything.
There was a hospital set up for me.
Not
mean-
really for him, though. Like, I think someone, I don't really know who it could be, messed it all up. So the actual Antichrist is Adam Young.
I mean,
What?
that's kind of cool, but so disappointing. God damn it.
I mean, your aura gives away some supernatural energy. I don't quite know why, but there are like golden specks around it. They're kind of faded, so it might be some years since you've got some divine protection from
Move along.
someone.
All right, there's a
Okay.
lot to unpack here.
Okay.
Anathema, could we have a chat about this Adam Young after this panel, maybe?
Of course,
too,
of course, of course. He's a lovely
Oh.
boy. He's just down the road, actually. I mean, we're all still in lockdown, but we're kind of forming an inner circle here in Tadfield, so I could try to let him talk to you.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Thank you.
Sure.
Actually, there's another question for you here. Someone's asking about online aura readings. So what colors are the auras of your fellow panelists?
Oh, you see, an aura isn't really just one color, and it can change. For example, Crowley and Aziraphale, their aura changed recently. There's a lot more blue in it now, which can stand for freedom and like the relief of a restriction, which I find very interesting. Did something happen to you guys?
Could say that.
Something is definitely the operative word.
There's also some pink
Warlock.
connecting the two of you. It's very interesting. It's almost like you're gravitating towards one another in your aura. Lord Beelzebub has a very distorted aura. It's very clear that they are not human. It's similar to the horse people, but it's also kind of like a swarm of little specks like flies all around their head. It's very peculiar. While Warlock is very, he has a very bold aura. He has a lot of personality. I can tell that. There's a lot of red, some orange, but he also has a lot of questions. So there's like a silver in it too. So yeah. Oh, that I can see in your aura too, Loomey. Like you have a lot of questions, which is probably why we're gathered here today. But you're also very creative and intelligent. I can see that in the yellow that's just bursting off of you. It's very cool.
Oh, thank you. Well, yes, I actually do have a lot of questions, and so does our audience. Someone wants to know what Warlock has been doing since everything happened. Well, in the light of recent revelations, I think by everything, they might be in, a certain trip you took to the Middle East or something.
Oh, that. I have no idea what that was about. Just some random guy coming up to me and being like, do you hear voices? And I'm like, is this some question that I've read on Twitter? Like, there's a voice in someone's head, but not all. I don't know. And then there was something about avocados, and then we were sent home. And, well, now I've just been looking up, like, witchcraft and, stuff like that. I'm really interested.
Hey, cool.
We do have a related
Some
question to
questions.
that. Someone's actually asking you, what are your plans for the future? Are you planning to go to university, dabble in occultism, write a book about your childhood?
My child. Oh.
People seem to think it might not have been the average childhood.
Well, thinking about it, God. Yeah. But my plans gotta be, I want to be a rock star. I'm gonna worship the devil. I'm gonna do blood sacrifices. I'm gonna do witchcraft. I'm gonna take over the world. The usual normal stuff.
Someone did ask if or when you get to destroy the world, not take it over, apparently, what style of destruction would you choose? We have a very peculiar audience here, I must say.
Like the vibe.
I like fire. Fire's cool.
Good kid.
You remind me
Yeah.
of someone.
Okay.
Don't think about it too much.
There's a question for Lord Beelzebub. Does the cute fly on your hat have a name?
Baby Buzz.
Called it cute.
It is cute. How dare you disrespect my fly, first of all. We have collectively nicknamed the fly Baby Buzz, which definitely does not give me bonus points in hell, but you know, it's my child, so.
If someone asked, would you like to replace your giant fly with a bee?
We could have two. We could have Baby Buzz and a bee, which would be completely unbearable, probably. But no, I'd quite like to keep my fly. Thank you very much.
In a lighter topic, someone's asking Aziraphale, could you tell us about a little more about the cake you're eating? Because it looks very tempting.
Oh, I'm not eating cake. I'm actually eating crepes. Well, I'll see if I can hold it up to the camera, actually. But I made a nice plate of crepes just this morning. And I've been sprinkling sugar on it all morning, all afternoon, rather, as we've been talking. So I would call this brunch. Very nice brunch.
Yep, sounds about the right time for it.
Of course. Oh, there's always the right time for crepes.
There's a question for you and Crowley. Crowley, do you think Aziraphale could take care of your plants without miracles?
Absolutely not. It's too nice.
And what do you think, Aziraphale?
I beg you, what sort of plans is the question?
Well, it's to specify.
Devious plans, I most certainly will not aid in any sort of plans with any miracles. Crowley.
Every time you come over to my flat, you coddle them like they're your children.
Well, they do deserve some tender loving care, rather than you yelling at them constantly.
It helps them grow.
Does it?
Yes, I have the best plants in London.
I see. Well, some firm, tender nurturing would be preferable, I suppose. But every time I've noticed that every time I do leave your flat, I leave bluebells in my wake. Every time I've spoken to your plants, I've noticed that.
They sprout flowers when he comes over. They show off. It's ridiculous.
Like everything, even the ones that are not supposed to flower? Oh.
Well, no, I'd say the ones that do flower will flower, who are supposed to flower, but provided that Crowley keeps yelling at them, of course, they are going to be shaking. The poor things, Crowley.
My method works. And I don't trust Aziraphale with the plants.
Right, so when I come over, they flower. And you don't trust my methods.
Nope.
I see. Well, we'll leave it at that then.
There seems to be a fundamental disagreement about what plants are supposed to do here. Anyway, Aziraphale, what's your favorite book? I'm sure that won't be contested.
Well, at the moment, I have been reading multiple ones. I've got a myriad of books behind me at the moment. And the one I'm currently reading and the one I'm currently actually enjoying is The Gospel of Loki by Joanne Harris. So if you do enjoy Norse mythology, I would highly recommend it.
Thank you. And since you love reading so much, someone in the audience was wondering, do you read fan fiction?
Fan fiction?
Oh.
I have vaguely been introduced to that area in fandoms. I've not dabbled in them, but I have heard about them.
I invented fan fiction.
Did you?
Oh, really?
Did you now?
I'll take all the credit for it.
I see.
That doesn't
Warlock, are you
surprise
okay? You kind of Are you okay? Do you know more about fan fiction?
No.
Yeah.
What's fan fiction? What's a fiction? What's a fan?
Your aura just changed. Never mind.
Anyway, Warlock, that's another question for you, actually. How do you know
Thank
all
God.
these people?
I don't. Pretty much. I just came along because why the hell not?
Yeah, but it's a Saturday. You're not supposed to have school, do you?
My mom sent me away to boarding school, so, you know,
Oh.
school every day, the usual.
I see.
Shouldn't you be attending right now then?
Yeah.
Forget I asked.
Anathema, someone's asking, how is Newt?
Oh, he's great. He's with me actually, but he's not allowed near my computer or any form of technology in the house. But he's fine. He made me tea.
Oh, that's nice.
Dude, that cup, show me.
It says
That's-
Witch's Brew.
That's
You
the
got it from me.
coolest.
It's really funny. I would call myself more of an occultist, but you know.
I call myself more of
Same
a
words.
Satanist, but you know.
Good for you.
Warlock, there was another question for you. I skipped over, sorry. Do you think that your nanny and brother Francis were being literal when they talked about ending the world?
At the time I was like 10, so no, but after this conversation, well, I'm
So
beginning to
wait.
question everything.
Who are Brother Francis and this nanny?
Brother Francis, gardener guy thing, you know. Nanny Ashtoreth was like the coolest, most awesome person I've ever known. She, you know, she was cool. She was, oh, the hell, she was great. I miss her so much. I want to be her when I grow up. I love her to bits, man. She's like everything. And then she just left. She just went. And I have no idea where she's gone. And I never heard from her again. But we don't think about that because that makes me sad, and we don't like that. Being sad is rubbish.
Maybe I can locate your nanny. I just need a little bit more of information and maybe I can do it. I mean, it didn't really work out when I was searching for Adam, but to be honest, I went about that all the wrong way.
Try it. Do it anyway.
Okay, let's see. Huh? That's weird.
What is it?
It says she's with us.
We should ask more questions.
Yes, let's move on. Next question, please. Thank you.
If you insist, although I was hoping to find Nanny, it would seem important to Warlock.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've sort of dabbled into somewhat more serious territory. So someone's asking Aziraphale, which of the archangels do you find the least obnoxious?
The least obnoxious. Well, I suppose they're all right. No, they're I suppose out of the maybe perhaps Uriel, perhaps. But Michael's also pretty. I will get back to you on that one, but I rather think that I'm going to stick with Uriel.
Thank you. Do you mind if I take some sneaky notes on that? Because this is all fascinating.
Well, as long as you don't tattletale, I'm completely fine with that.
Unfortunately, I have no way to contact them. They didn't even attend the panel. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
what
why aren't
happened.
they here? Like, even someone like Lord Beelzebub is here. I was wondering. At
Well,
least that gray suit dude, that with the American accent. What about him?
Are you talking about my dad?
No, we are talking about
No.
boss,
Oh,
the Archangel Gabriel.
the Archangel wears a
Oh,
suit.
so
He does. He does
Idiot.
clothing.
That's
But I
good to know.
did graciously invite them to this panel. However, they had to decline in a rather fearful manner. Something about me being a fire hazard.
That's strange, I'd say, though I don't know that much about angels. We sort of have a related question anyway. Someone's asking Lord Beelzebub, how do you feel about Archangel Gabriel? Would you burn his scarves if you had a chance?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just to see the pain in his eyes. Brilliant.
You also have another question. What was Crowley's reputation in hell before a bathtub? I'm not sure what they mean, but...
It's a difficult one. He was in the books, quite notorious, but we all sort of knew something odd was going on there. But, we didn't talk about it.
All right. Crowley?
They loved me. They loved me.
They did not. We
They
did
loved
not.
me.
We did not.
He loved me.
No. Love doesn't exist in hell.
Well, we're not in hell right now, so maybe that's why Crowley's aura just... I'll stay quiet.
I mean, someone is asking you to go back to the topic of Nani being with us, and if you are able to pin it down better, is she a con attendee or a panelist or something?
I don't know. She might be among the people watching us, or she's with us here. It was very unclear. It takes me a while longer to figure this out, but
maybe we could. Maybe you could chat more with Warlock later. And
yeah,
try to find
absolutely,
her.
absolutely.
How much time do we have left? Are we low on time? We might be low on time. Let's get more questions in.
Yes, sure. Crowley, what does the J stand for? James Bond, Jessica, or Gentony?
The J?
This is Jay.
Is that it? It's a J.
Jay. Give me whatever you want.
Okay.
Jezebel.
Well, you
Jeffrey.
did say whatever we want.
I believe there have been many suggestions as to what the J in your name would potentially stand for, Crowley.
Yeah, but I shouldn't have given the child permission.
Jelly bean. Jelly bean. That's amazing.
Starts with a J.
Yeah, perhaps we should move on. Aziraphale, someone in the audience keeps trying to make crepes for breakfast, and they don't always turn out right. Do you have any tips for getting them light and thin?
Well, I've always, when I make crepes, I find that you can play a lot with the recipe. So if you like, I can say my recipe, and if you want to write it down, you are most welcome to. So for your recipe, you're going to need 2 eggs, 5 tablespoons of flour, a pinch of salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 250 grams of milk, and 100 grams of water. With the water, you could also try to use sparkly water. The sparkly water makes the pancakes or crepes a lot more fluffier. They have a lot more of a fluffy texture if you use sparkly water. And after, you just make sure you continue to whisk and continue mixing until you've got a very light texture to your pancake batter. And then you simply just scoop it up and you pour it into the pan and you wait a little bit. And I would suggest you take a knife, and the edge of the knife, you just kind of go around the edge of the crepe. And then you make sure that the bottom is a light golden crisp color, and then you flip it over wait for a couple minutes, and then once it's done, you just move it onto a plate and spread a bit of butter on the top.
You've been keeping yourself occupied.
I have been experimenting with crepes, and the thing is, you can really play around with the recipe. It does not have to be as specific as mine. If you find that your batter is a bit too, I suppose, too dry perhaps, then you need to add more water or milk. You sort of eyeball it, but that's the basic recipe as what I've been following.
I guess a couple of 1,000 years of experience comes in handy.
Of course, you'll adjust.
Since we're on different entities' interests here, someone has heard that Lord Beelzebub is a fan of ABBA. If this is true, what's your favorite song? And do other panelists here have favorite songs by ABBA?
Well, it has to be Gimme Gimme, of course. It's brilliant. 10 out of 10. Height of human music. And I will discorporate anyone who says otherwise.
My mother used to listen to ABBA immensely. It was the only thing playing at our house. So I'd say, what is my favorite? Maybe SOS. That's a good song.
Must it be specifically ABBA?
Well, that was the question, but I suppose if you don't favor that band, we could just hear your favorite song anyway.
Well,
you know what ABBA is?
I do know what ABBA is, actually. I used to quite enjoy them for some time. I did like listening to them for a little bit. I'd say Andante Andante is one of my favorites of them.
I would rather drive my car into a wall than hear another ABBA song, because it's all that plays in hell 24 hours a day at any given moment.
That's rather understandable.
Is that a form of torture?
Yeah.
No, it's just what Beelzebub enjoys.
Oh, I see.
Do you enjoy Queen then?
I am a Queen fan.
I've noticed.
Oh, Anathema, you sound a bit miffed about something that happened between you two. Someone's asking if you will ever actually forgive Crowley for hitting you with the car.
Well, they hit me with a car and then they stole my book. And I only just got it back because I was absolutely not.
You were on the road. So were you. Anyway, when I got in, because at least Aziraphale was so kind to suggest giving me a lift, they just played Bicycle by Queen really loudly, mocking me. Bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. So maybe I will forgive them, but we'll see about that.
No.
I can't put anything else in that car. Everything that I put in that car, give it a month and it's nothing but Queen.
Excuses.
It's a curse.
Curse. Your car is cursed.
Well, my car is a blessing, but the music is...
If it's a blessing and you're a demon, does that work out?
Well, I have a few blessings in life.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
I see.
Since you're talking about blessings in life, someone's asking you, have you ever considered having little pet snakes and being their mother? Crowley?
I don't think that would bode well. With the whole sleeping for months on end thing, I don't think taking care of another, living being would be something that would be up my alley.
I see. I mean, sleeping sounds like a very sensible plan since a lot of us are locked down. Someone's actually asked you, Crowley, what are some things that you miss the most during lockdown other than a certain angel?
Took my answer.
Sorry.
The chaos. The usual putting soap in the fountains and gluing coins to the sidewalk and, the things. But
Isn't chaos?
it's good enough.
Warlock, I think this question might be somewhat about the antithesis of chaos, but someone asked you, what do you think about your teachers, Mr. Cortez and Mr. Harrison?
I don't spend enough time in school to tell you, to be quite honest with you. Don't tell my mother. She'll kill me.
I'm sure she won't get to see this panel in any way or form. Moving on. Did you ever get to tell us your favorite ABBA song, by the way?
Me?
Yeah, you. Do you know ABBA?
Not really. I mean, my parents didn't really listen to music, and my nanny and my nanny didn't really. Well, she sang to me, so I never really listened to ABBA. It's only recently that I listened to more heavier stuff like rock music. So,
Anathema, do you have a favorite tarot deck?
Not really. I have quite the collection in another room, which I like to collect different tarot decks, actually. There is a Mucha one that is very pretty. Got my hands on that just rather recently. Went on a little bit of a shopping spree during lockdown. There's this very peculiar postman who always comes to my house. But he's a lovely lad. I think his name is Leslie, a really nice guy.
I'm glad you're enjoying Tadfield even in these times. Is Newt with you? Are you still living together?
Yes, he actually moved in shortly after the not-so Armageddon, because his mother was very pleased to. No, he's got himself a girlfriend after all this time. So yeah, he's with me. He's helping me a lot in the cottage. So it's really great.
Oh, that also sounds lovely. People seem to be really curious about Lord Beelzebub's taste in music. Someone asked you, since we were talking ABBA, have you seen the Mamma Mia musical? And do you have any thoughts on that?
Just, yes, but how do they all know the dances? Is this a different realm? Is it a different reality? I have no idea. Is this a universe where ABBA doesn't exist? Or is it just the fact that everyone knows the lyrics and the dance moves? I have no idea what's going on at any given time.
Do you not know what a musical is?
No.
You should
Okay,
check
then.
out Sweeney Todd.
Oh, that's a good one, actually.
I'll add it to my ever-growing list of things to do.
Yes, someone also asked you, do you enjoy Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, since you were actually mentioned in it?
I do quite like it, yes. Of course, I force everyone to sing along with that very favourite lyric. It's a favourite in hell on special occasions when we pause the ABBA.
Crowley, can you confirm that?
Every Tuesday.
Oh.
Is Tuesday a special occasion?
Nope.
Oh. Okay.
Just, it's always on Tuesdays. Not every Tuesday, just some.
So it's sort of a surprise. I'll let you decide if it's a lovely one. Speaking of chaos that we mentioned earlier, Crowley, did you invent TikTok? Because it sounds like the kind of thing you would invent.
Well, they thought I did. I don't want to take all the credit for it because it is a hell site, but I did get accommodation for it. And they thought it was mine, but it's not.
Warlock, any thoughts on that?
I have a TikTok. You should all follow me. It's Warlock the Satanist TikTok. So I do like reactions and I do covers, no dances, none of that stuff. I do like comedy because I'm awesome, music, you know. You should all follow me.
Why am I here?
Someone did ask a question to the whole panel since we're still on music. Opinion on the sound of music.
I like the sound of it. Sounds good. Music sounds good.
No, Han, it's a musical too. It's very Christian.
Oh God, no.
Yes, it's not one of my favorites.
Aziraphale, I see you're having thoughts.
Well, I do not wish to listen to that musical ever again. Well, it's not terrible, but considering how that would be the mirror of hell listening to ABBA consistently, we watched and listened to the soundtrack of The Sound of Music because it is the Lord's favorite.
Climb every mountain over and over and over and over and over.
Over and over.
And over and over.
The Lord has ears?
I just wanted to ask, have you met them personally?
Nobody meets the Lord personally. The Lord has the Metatron, which is sort of a
Transformer.
What? No, not no. What's a transformer?
It's like this car thing.
Anyway,
I'll explain later.
the Lord has the Metatron, which would probably be the equivalent of voicemail. But apart from that, you just don't have to think about it too hard, really. But yes, the Lord, she does enjoy the sound of music.
She.
The Lord is a woman.
There's a lot to unpack here. I think we need another meeting with Anathema.
Agnes had a prophecy about that. I knew it.
I believe.
What else would she be?
Precisely.
Humans believe a lot of shit.
Well, considering that the Bible has been written and then rewritten and then rewritten again.
Yeah, I think we'll need a whole other meeting to discuss that. So this whole lovely convention needs to move on with the programming. So maybe one last random question from the audience. Someone asked, Lord Beelzebub, if you were not drowning in paperwork, I promise I'm helping with that. If you're not drowning in paperwork, what type of hobbies would you have or like to try?
I tell you what, the paintballing incident did sound quite fun. So probably hell exercise paintballing would be quite fun.
All right, well, that's some food for thought. And thank you all for attending. I'm sorry we didn't have time for more questions, but you're a very curious audience. And thank you for your help with uncovering all of this. There's a lot to unpack here, truly. Enjoy your gathering and see you around.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.